This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life.
So hey everybody, it's Joni B
And Jenny B.
and we are right here in the studio with an amazing man, Luke Smallbone for King and Country, and we're going to be talking about Priceless.
Priceless it is. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me. This is cool. And also, I don't usually do FaceTime video interviews very often. So when I saw that I was doing this, I'm like, look at these guys. They're so hip. They're so cool. They're so cutting edge.
So, well, we're excited. I mean, because, you know, it's better to hear the voice and see the face at the same time, especially since we're going to be talking about this amazing project that you guys have. And I know through your careers, the heart of Priceless has always been. So tell us a little bit about this campaign.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we've talked about kind of from the beginning of the inception of the King Country is we've been going around saying to women, hey, culture says for you to talk, dress, and act like you're cheap. But we actually believe that there's a God who says that you're priceless. And then we've been saying to men, hey guys, men, this issue starts with us. We got to be leaders in our relationships, leaders in our workplaces, and we got to stand up, stand out, and treat these ladies as they deserve to be treated with the respect and honor. And chivalry is alive and well. And I think at first we felt like, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll share about this for a couple of years, and then maybe people get tired of it. We'll move on to something else. But we felt like it was hitting such a nerve and scratching an itch that we felt like it was only just beginning. And so we went to our brother Ben and said, hey man, what do you think about working on a film called Priceless, just around this movement and just see where this goes? And that's where we find ourselves today.
Oh, well, we've checked out the trailer and we can't wait till next week when it hits the theaters. And I know that you announced, I think it was yesterday on a FaceTime video, that you guys are going to have an extra special things on the 13th. Why don't you share with that? We'll give them a little treat right here at the beginning.
Yeah, well, we had a premiere event in Nashville just a few days ago, and it was such a great event that we thought, well, why don't we do kind of mini premieres all across America? I think there's 200 theaters that we're doing this premiere event at. You can go to pricelessthemovie.com to find that all out. And what it is instead of the film officially releases Friday, October 14th, but we thought to the people that are kind of our core constituents, if we could maybe release the film a little bit early, a day early, and allow them, not really anybody else, but for them to be the first people to see the film, how cool that would be. So on Thursday, the 13th, we thought, hey, let's release the film. They can watch the film. There's some interviews from my brother Joel and I, and there's also some live concert footage that has never been seen by the public. So we just thought it would be kind of a cool way to launch Priceless the movie.
Well, it's exciting. I know we're here in Sioux City, so the closest one is in Omaha for us. So if you're in the Sioux City area, let's head down to Omaha to check this out. You had a question for him.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the plot of Priceless without giving too much away, but just to give a taste of it.
Yeah, well, the film follows a character by the name of James Stevens, who's played by my brother Joel. And James Stevens has kind of had some really, he's a very normal individual who's just been struck by tragedy. He lost his wife to a tragic accident, and then after that, kind of dealing with the grief and the mourning period. He's in and out of prison, then his daughter gets taken away from him, and he's kind of desperate to try and do something with his life. And so a buddy of his comes and says, hey, there's a transportation gig here that pays you really well. If this goes well, you can do more of this, you can probably get your daughter back, what about it? And he says, okay, I'll do it. But the transportation job is kind of from A to B, no questions asked. You got to drive straight through the night, 24 hours. And during that night, he actually falls asleep at the wheel. And what he realizes he's carrying in the back of his box truck is not what, but who.
We're all on a journey. It seems somewhere along the way I took a wrong turn. So many regrets, so many mistakes.
But I want to stay with you, Daddy.
And then it happened. even saw it coming.
You look beat. What are you hauling?
And nothing really.
Now, why would you have to go through all that? You're just hauling nothing.
I just for once wanted to do the right thing.
We want to thank you for helping us.
You want to be here.
I want to be a singer, like Taylor Swift. Do you like Taylor Swift?
No. Did I fail them?
That's all. There's no lock, huh?
Did I do what needed to be done?
Hey, the girls, where are you taking?
It's not your problem. Happy trails.
You obviously know something about this. Then help me.
Well, if you're hearing a little voice that's telling you to stay, that there's a larger hand at play here, then you might want to listen to that voice.
These girls don't belong to you.
Those girls don't belong to anyone.
You go down this road, you can't go back to normal life again.
There's some bad dudes who are gonna kill you.
My friendship comes at a cost.
This is not what love looks like.
I want to shut this thing down.
I see you dressed in white.
How could you just leave us?
You have to trust me.
That word is broken for you.
I'm gonna make this right.
Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful.
James, no!
All in you, so priceless.
Wow. I mean, again, when you guys watch the trailer, it's intense. I mean, some of the moments, you know, where he's trying to save the girls, I mean, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So again, it's phenomenal. Now, there was a little thing that I read about you guys, that your dad gave the boys of the family a camcorder when you guys were younger. And it said that you were supposed to be filming your sister at her concerts.
Yeah, well, so my older brother Ben is the film director, and we, would work on films from when we were very, very young. But originally, I think it was for my dad to get concert footage of our older sister at the time. And what ended up being was we started making home videos left, right, and center, and that was actually what got my brother Ben into film. And so one thing progressed to another. You know, he's been doing commercials, he's been doing a ton of other things, and so this is his first feature. But he's had a long time in the making in preparation for this moment, and it's really a beautiful film. He's done a wonderful job.
Well, that's exciting, because we never know when God shows that we're equipped to do these amazing things. So, I mean, you know, God knew that your dad was going to give you the camcorder. So when I read that, I thought, boy, that's a God moment right there, and it happened when you guys were so young.
Yeah.
And so in your film, obviously you portray the issue of human trafficking. Why did you choose to put in such a hard and difficult issue in the film?
Yeah, well, one of the things, as I explained earlier, we've been talking about this priceless movement for a number of years, and when we started asking ourselves, what better illustrates a person who's priceless than actually telling a story that is the antithesis of that, which is somebody who can be bought, an experience that can't be bought. And we don't obviously believe that to be true. We believe that the human life is priceless, is incredibly valuable. But we do feel like this story illustrates a much bigger point, and that is that we believe that human life is valuable. And because of that, we do delve into some difficult story. And I think a lot of people think that this stuff doesn't exist. And, you know, it's slavery and enslaved people today are at the highest it's ever been in the history of the world. And yet, for the most part, we're kind of sitting back doing very, very little about it. And so, as I said, we feel like this story illustrates really the ultimate love that God has from us. But we do have to show sometimes the other side, the evil side, to actually show how bright that light is and the hope that God gives us.
That's right, because our eyes have to be open. And again, as you said, some people have turned a closed eye to that. You know, they hear about it, but that's too graphic. I don't want to hear about it. But now, so we have the movie. We also have the Priceless Tour that you're on. So why don't let's wrap up this interview with you telling the viewers what all is going on with For King and Country right now, how they can get a hold of, I know you got some great t-shirts, and just a little bit of information of how they can get these to support this cause.
Yeah, well, you're very sweet. Well, really this year, I had a moment the other day when we were thinking about all that we're trying to accomplish in the back half of 2016, and we realized that we're releasing about 6 products. We have Priceless the book, we have Priceless the movie, we have Priceless the song, we have Priceless the tour, and then we're doing a Christmas tour, and we're also releasing a Christmas song. So there's 6 things that we're releasing this year, and you can find out all that stuff at thekingcountry.com. But ultimately, the most important need that we have is just getting the word out about the film. You know, as I said before the interview started, in music, you know, you might spend a year creating music, and once you release that album, you're on a 2-3 year journey of touring it, showing people the music and singles and radio, all that different stuff. And in film, you work on these films for 2 or 3 years, and that 72 hours when that film releases in our film, October 14th, you have 72 hours to kind of prove your point and get enough people out there to want it to be in theaters the next week. So obviously for us, getting the word out and having people come out and see the film October 14th is of paramount importance.
Wow. Well, you guys have heard it. You've heard it straight from Luke, and God has ministered to their hearts and wants them to share this message. So I encourage you to support For King and Country in this priceless effort, and go see the movie, support it, invite your friends, and just invite, you know, if you're in college areas, this would be a great opportunity for a bunch of college students to go out and hang out together and enjoy an awesome movie and take home a really gift to your heart. Anything else you want to add?
I just wanted to ask, if you could tell the viewers one specific thing you want them to get out of this movie, what would it be?
I think it's that they know their value and their worth. You know, at the end of the day, you know, culture is and Hollywood in particular is telling us a lot of lies. You know, they're telling us, especially young men, to objectify a woman, and it's like that's a very, very dark road to go down. And there's nothing else actually reinforcing truth in these people's lives. So of course, what do you expect these people to believe when they're told in films that that's the way to go about things, or that's the way to talk to a girl, and you know, vice versa? It's a challenging thing. So we believe that if people understand who they are under God, then a lot of those lies that we come up against, that they will be repelled. We won't be able to believe those lies because we're saturated in truth. And this is our best attempt at trying to encourage people to understand who they truly are, how priceless, how wonderfully they're made, and how God has given them unique talents that He's given no one else.
That's right.
And we really hope that people will understand that when they walk away from this film.
Well, that's awesome. And we encourage you guys to keep sharing. I know that all of this has to be wearing on you and you're becoming probably weary in body, but we pray for God's strength on you and your family, because being away from them I know is difficult. But thank you for what you do. Keep doing it. You have our prayers behind you, and this movie is going to be awesome. Everybody, go see Priceless. All right.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys.
Thank
I'm not
you.
that tired. I got this.